Yo, what's up, Bully fam? It's Henry A here from Bully Kings, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my micro bully kennels. So I'm going to be talking about what they look like, the requirements of what they require to take care of them, and what the city requires to take care of them. And also I'll be talking about what it takes to keep them under control, because that is something you have to think about and consider. So first off, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, the whole compound. So this is what it looks like, guys. See, every one of them has a doghouse required from the state I am in, the state of Kentucky. I don't know how it is in other states. They all have their doghouse. You gotta keep them clean. The kennel gotta stay clean. They all have their water bowls. They all get food. One bowl of food, about half a bowl of food. Depending on how much they eat, they get once a day, they get their food. Now let me show you guys where I bring them in at night. This is my garage. In my garage, I bring them in here at night. I've got cages in here. This is where they sleep. I lock them all up in their cages. I've got a heating system here. I've got a heater there. I've got a heater there. And I also got some lights right here. This heating lamps. Just in case it gets too cold, I'll turn those on as well. We've got an AC system for the summertime. I've got another AC system here. This is where I blend them in at night, guys. I've got this bin right here where I keep their food. Keep their food here. That's the pedigree. I feed them all pedigree. I realized too, guys, I use this cup right here. It's a pretty big cup. I give 1 cup of these to each one of my dogs. Instead of filling up their bowl all the way, I give them this and I save so much money on food because that's pretty much all they eat. What was happening before is I was leaving the food full of food, and there was possums coming over here at night and eating their food, so I was just spending a whole bunch of money for nothing. But yeah, guys, this is it. Okay, so now that you guys know what the compound looks like, the requirements is that every dog in each kennel has a doghouse. As you can see, they all have a doghouse. I've got one that doesn't have a doghouse, but a lot of times I don't keep a dog in there, so that's fine. But those are some of the requirements. Now, how often do I clean them? I clean them about once a week. Why? Because I've got shavings in the back. So what these shavings do, the dogs go straight to the shavings and take a shit on the shavings. So it keeps the concrete clean. I will say you do have to clean the shavings about once a week, because if you don't clean it, if you let it get too dirty, they don't like shitting on the dirty ones. They'll go and shit on your concrete. So keep shavings there, it'll help. Heating and air. In the summertime, I'll keep them outside most of the time. I'll let them out here. If it gets too hot, I'll come out here and I'll hose them down. I'll wet them, keep them cool about 3 times a day. It does require that you're keeping them cool when it gets really hot. If you don't want them to overheat, you have to make sure you're cooling them down. Personally, I prefer to grab a bucket, a bowl, and just pour the water on top of them, rub your hand on them, make sure that water gets underneath their fur. Because what I noticed that with the water hose, a lot of bullies get too crazy. They want to play with it. So what happens is they get agitated. So I'd rather grab a bucket, it takes a little bit more time, a bowl, and pour the water on them little by little. It's going to take more time, but it'll keep your dog more relaxed and potentially keeping his life longer. But that's what I do in the summer. In the winter, I bring them in the garage. As I showed you guys in the garage, I've got the AC system. I've got the heaters in there. So in the winter, I turn on the heater when it gets cold, and they stay pretty warm in there. And as far as food goes, I feed them once a day. I'll give them each 1 bowl, and I'll leave it there. They'll finish it throughout the day. And water, I make sure I give them fresh water every morning. And I come back and check on them just in case they finish it throughout the day. If they finished it, I'll give them some more. But they get fresh water, fresh food every day. Keeping them under control. That is something to consider, because sometimes they do tend to want to fight. If you got them all loose running around here, they'll want to fight each other. So what I do is I put them each on individual cages. Sometimes I'll have them together, like the puppies will play around. But when they get older, they kind of get annoyed of each other, so they want to fight if you do not have them exercise enough. If you have a bigger place like a farm or just a bigger house in general where they can run around and wear some of that energy off, they will not fight. The only time they fight is when they're frustrated. So if you're not exercising them enough, they will get frustrated and they will fight. For me personally, since I got a lot of dogs, I'd rather keep them separate. They all have big kennels. These kennels are 15 feet long, 5 feet wide, so it's pretty much like a run. You know, they got the ability to run here. They got the roofs in case it rains. They all got I think these are 12 feet long roofs. These roofs work great. They got the dog houses to go into if they get a little cold. They go inside the dog houses. But this is what it is when they're staying out here. Like I was saying about the fights, personally, I prefer to keep them separate. And also, I got this thing, this medicine that is called ACE. So what this medicine does is used for horses. I give them a tiny bit. You can get it from your vet. Ask them about the ACE, A-C-E. This medicine, you give it to them and it'll put them to sleep. It'll kind of just it's like getting them drunk almost. It'll put them a little bit to sleep, not all the way. But I'll give them this medicine whenever I got people out here, like the neighbors are working on the trees or on the wires up there. They're fixing some wires, the electricity companies out here. Whatever's going on, they do tend to bark a lot. And I don't want them barking a lot because I live in a residential area, meaning that I'm not allowed to have all that noise going on here. The neighbors will complain or whatever. So what I do is I give them a little bit of ACE, calms them down, takes that edge off of them, and keeps them cool. But yeah, guys, that is all for today. As you guys can see, I've got a bunch of micro and nano bullies. Again, what is a micro bully? A micro bully is a dog that's 13 inches and under. So anything under 13 inches to 10 inches is considered micro. 10 inches and below is considered nano. 13 inches and up is pocket. And then after that is XL. I don't know anything about the XL. They look like horses. But this is what we got, guys. Micro bullies and nano bullies. These are the requirements. If you guys are looking to get some dogs, now you got an idea of what you'll need and what it takes to take care of these dogs. If you guys got any questions, comments, or ideas, put them down below. And let's get to work. Bully Kings, baby.